This topic is the Format Cells dialog box, a very useful feature in Excel. We're starting on the Home ribbon, and as you can see, the Home ribbon is divided into several sections. We'll start with the Font section. You can see I have a red box around it. If you highlight a cell, and you say for example A1, and I were to put something in there, then I can make that something bold, italics, underline. I can put borders around it, have the background change colors, and if I don't like the color that's here, in this case yellow, I can click the arrow to the right of it, the down arrow, and I will get all kinds of other colors. Then we have the font color. If I want to make it bigger, I can click on this, the large A, make it smaller, click on that, and so on. If all these options are not enough, you can go to the Format Cells dialog box. And that is right here where I have the circle. You can see there's a little icon right here. If you click on that, that opens the Format Cell dialog box. You can see to the right is another section, the alignment section. It also gives you some choices, but right down here, if you click on this, it will also take you to the Format Cells dialog box, and it will open to the page having to do with alignments. It'll open to that tab. This next area has to do with the number section, and right here is the icon for opening up the Format Cells dialog box. You can also select cells and right click, and it will give you the option of opening the Format Cells dialog box. So here are some ways we can use it. Let's start by formatting the number 23 right here. First of all, I'm going to select it. I can either right click, or I can click on this little icon right here and open the Format Cells dialog box. So I'll just right click it this first time. And you can see right down here at the bottom it says Format Cells, and it opens the Format Cells dialog box. We can see it is formatted as an accounting number, and that it has 2 decimal places, and there's no symbol with it. As you can see, 2 decimal places. Let's say I don't want 2 decimal places. I can click this right here and click OK, and it got rid of the 2 decimal places. Let's format it again differently. This time I'm going to come up to the icon in the lower right side of the number section and click on it, and let's just try the word number. If it was a large number, I can click to use a comma separator. Let's try currency. We have here listed as no symbol, so I'm going to click the down arrow, as you can see right there, and the $sign. So now it's currency, and let's just add 2 decimal places and click OK. And you can see it went to $23. One thing you need to know is that time begins in Excel on January 1st, 1900. So the number 1 represents January 1st, 1900. Number 2 is January 2nd. So 23, which is what we have right here, that would be January 23rd, 1900. It counts the number of days since January 1st, 1900. And that's useful to know because you can use dates in all kinds of formulas just to calculate things. So if I were to format this as a date, I click on it, come over here to number, let's click on it as a date, and I have all these formats. I can do it with year in 4 numbers, or I can just leave the year off. I'm going to put this one in here. It gives a lot of information, and you can see it's January 23rd, 1900. Now if you look at this set right here, you can see these numbers right here, they are in fact all the same numbers. They are just formatted differently. So you have 50% is the same as 0.50, which is the same as 1/2 if you were to format it as a fraction. If you were to format it right here as currency, it'd be 50 cents. And here we have it formatted in the general format, and we have it rounded up to 1. As you can see right here, we have number 1, which is rounded up. It's the same number as these other numbers, but it rounded up. So let's click on the Format Cells dialog box. You can either click right here or right click, and that will open up the Format Cells dialog box. I'll do that, and here we have the Format Cells dialog box, and we can see that this number 1 is formatted as a number. It has 0 decimal places. So let's just add a couple of decimal places. And you can see that it's 50 cents. Because when it wouldn't allow you a decimal place, it just rounded up. Here's a project to use the Format Cells dialog box. I'm going to click on this cell right here, and I can right click, and my choice, it scrolls off the page, but I have the choice of Format Cells. You notice that it's open to the number category. So we want to select percentage right here, and it went to 33.00, but we have 2 decimal places in there. Don't necessarily want that. I'm going to open up the Format Cells dialog box again, and right here change that to 0 decimal places. And it's 33%. Now let's just select the rest of these. Open up the Format Cells dialog box, go to percentage, and there you have it. Currency, I'm just going to select them all. Open up the Format Cells dialog box. I've got the dollar symbol right here. I could take that off if I want to put none, but I do want that in there. I want 2 decimal places. It's all good. And I'm going to make this a little bigger so we can see it. Here's some numbers. Each one of these numbers represents the number of days since January 1st, 1900. So let's see how those come out at dates. We've got them selected. We're going to open up the Format Cells dialog box. We're going to put in date, and I'm going to click OK. And there you have the dates. We'll work on time right here. Let's go to time. We can have PM or AM. That's probably a good idea. We don't need seconds in there. So I would say this one right here is the one I would choose. Fraction. You have several choices. You can have things reduced to the nearest fourth of a fraction, or you can have like 2 digits right here, the 25th, something with 2 digits in it, or something with 3 digits. You're going to be more precise with the 3 digits, so generally speaking, I would pick it. It can reduce down to something with only 1 digit in the denominator, but it's more accurate, or tends to be more accurate if you have 3 digits as the possibility. And so you can see in this case, it's a little bit more accurate. If I hadn't selected the 3 digits for the denominator, this would have been simplified right here. And we'll just put these as a number. Your basic number. We'll leave it with 2 decimal places and click OK. There's another thing worth knowing. You can format these numbers as a text. All of these can be used in formulas and functions right now, but once you format them as text, you can't use them in a calculation. You can't add with it or subtract with it or anything like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a group of cells right here and format them as text and click OK. Now if I were to put a number here like 058 and click enter, you can see that it has 058 right here because it's formatted as a text. Right over here it's not formatted as a text. If I were to put in 058, the O would disappear. So put 058 and hit enter, and it went to 58. That's useful in case you have identity numbers or something like that where you need to have a 0 at the beginning, but it's important to know that you cannot use this number right here in a formula. The main things to know is that there are two ways, at least, to open up the Format Cells dialog box. You click on the cell that you're interested in, and you can click it here to open it up to the Numbers tab. And of course there's the alignment, font, border, fill, protection. Or you can right click. I'll bring this up here so you can see it better. I'll take this one and I will right click, and right there is Format Cells. And it opened at the Fill Format Cells tab. Let's go over to the numbers, and here's the number in there. I want to change that to currency. Click OK, and there it is, $209. Thank you.